Hey everyone, how's it going? I just wanted to talk about FilmFreeway really quick. For those of you who make independent feature films or even short films, you probably know about FilmFreeway. But for those of you who don't, it's one of the ways that you can enter film festivals in an efficient way, because what you're doing is creating like a one press kit, and then you can select from all the film festivals that participate in Film Freeway, which is most of them. So if I go to my projects, I'll show you one project that I finished. So VHS Massacre Too. This is a movie about independent films and B movies. So I have the trailers posted here. And if you look at the rest of the press kit, there's a summary. There are stills from the movie. It's basically about the movies in the video store era. And there's even a director's statement. And whenever I get into a screening, what I'll do is under screenings and awards, I'll post where it's screened. So these are some of the places that I got into. One thing I did want to add is that a lot of film festivals right now are virtual, which means you don't really have to worry about whether you can actually go to them or not. So it can be a real blessing in a way. That's what happened for me. Like, I have a 1-year-old. I'm not going to be able to travel to California to go to a festival anyway. So because so many of them are virtual, if you get in, a lot of the times you can do like live Q&As, and they'll have virtual screenings, so it can end up being really excellent. So I think for now you don't even have to worry about where the festival is. You can enter anywhere in the world. And even before all this stuff happened, like if you got into a festival, it wouldn't mean necessarily you had to go. Let's say you got into a festival in Australia, you know, they would still play your film, and you could still potentially win an award. So these are things that you might have concerns with. And these are actually a good idea for student filmmakers as well. So like if you're in a class, or this is for a class in this particular instance, Filmmakers New York. If you're from New York, if you made a cool short film, try to enter Filmmakers New York. Most of these cost money. Some don't though, and that's what we're going to go through with some of the free ones. Okay, so Filmmakers New York, Horror Hound Film Festival, that's a convention, so it's like Comic-Con but for horror. Indie Horror Movie Awards, Miami International Science Fiction Film Festival, they play documentaries too. Bare Bones is another really good one. They take low budget stuff. Top Indie Awards, Impact Documentary, Los Angeles Independent Film Festival Awards. That one is cool because there are several things like semi-finalist statuses, and sometimes it's good to look for festivals that give out multiple awards so that you actually have a shot at winning something. In regard to that, something like Impact Documentary Awards is really good. Indie Fest is another good one in that way. The Telly Awards is another one. Let's see. It's even playing in Russia, which is interesting. Siberia. First of all, what you do is you'd set up your project, as I said, with all of the information, and then from there you could go into browse festivals. So here is the key to browsing film festivals. But first let me step back and say this about film festivals. So most of let's say young filmmakers, their default is to think of YouTube as the place to host your film. But in regard to independent film, if we're not talking about like web series and things that are meant to be done every week, and with YouTube it's a lot more about having a lot of content these days. And so if you're not doing that, if you're looking to make more highly crafted short films or even highly crafted web series and things like that, then you probably want to do the film festival route. Like, you don't want to just put it on YouTube, because the film festival route in some way might give you access to the professional realm of filmmaking. Like, for instance, if you somehow gotten to the Austin Film Festival or Houston Film Festival or Toronto or Telluride or Sundance or Slamdance. Those are all real long shots, but it's almost like applying to college, right? People do get into Yale, right? So there is this desire to want to enter the top festivals to sort of be part of it. And then from there, if you got your film in there, in theory, people could take notice of you, and it's possible that to start stepping into the realm of professional filmmaking. You're also making connections. If you get your film into a film festival, you're meeting other potential investors, you're meeting other filmmakers. And like, for instance, so this documentary I did, it played in, it's maybe about 12 cities. So if you can think of that in regard to independent filmmakers, our theatrical run, like, when the Avengers comes out, it comes out on like whatever, 10,000 screens or 5,000 screens, right? Well, if you did an independent short film in it, let's say it's screened in 10 major cities, that's pretty significant. So you can start to look at independent filmmaking as slightly different than just posting things on YouTube. Although posting things on YouTube is awesome and people do make a career out of it. This is maybe a realm of film production that you hadn't really tapped. So it's something to think about too. It's another place to put your films. And getting into film festivals and winning things, this all helps to build out your resume. For instance, when I started working for CBS News, I had done, I think, two features, and I had won some awards, and I had volunteered at public access television station, and I had got my associate's degree from a community college, and that sort of package was enough to sort of get me this vacation relief editing position, they used to call it, and it meant that I would get called in the middle of the night to come in and edit when someone called out sick, right? So the point is, you really have to build up your arsenal to sort of make it in the industry. So placing in film festivals and winning things, this is all important. Okay, so I rambled on for a long time. Okay, so if we look at some of the conditions, we can look at different filters to put on them, they're called. We're going to click on film festivals. We're not doing screenplay contests, but you can. That's an option. And then online festivals and awards. Click off a few boxes. I'm going to actually leave this blank. Like, if I was entering my film, it would clearly be documentary. I would check that off, and it would be a feature. I mean, we can click on. Let's check off short. Let's try science fiction. So let's say our film was a short film and it was a science fiction film. Okay, so now we're starting to get some festivals. The other thing we did is we set this entry fee down to 0 because we want to see what we can enter for free, which a lot of these festivals are going to be out of the country. So China International Conference of Science and Education, that's not science fiction. Life, Universe, and Everything. Let's look at this one. This one looks like promotes novel and screenwriting, art of gaming, professional development, world filmmaking. Yeah, this doesn't look like an exact match, and if we hit submit now, yeah, I don't think it's the best fit. So this one isn't open yet, but Future Gate Sci-Fi Film Festival. It's in the Czech Republic. Okay, there's several awards, which is cool. Like, it does help if a film festival gives out multiple awards. It gives you a larger chance of winning. That's important. It's opening soon. It's not open. It does take short films. It's a science fiction film festival. So when that opens, maybe that would be a good candidate. So what you can do is you could add that to a watch list. 60-second film festival. Obviously, that only works if you've made a film that And that's, you see there's a lot of, this is a LGBTI plus film festival. So that's something to keep in mind. There are many different types of film festivals. You know, there are student film festivals. There are film festivals that only want female directors, and so that can be a good thing because it can up your chances of getting in. So you know, take that into account and enter what you want to. Look, this is a funny one. This is a food film festival. It's like, okay. Okay, so basically you want to just go through and slay. What is this? So this is a very cool one. Slay Film Festival looks like if you made a horror short, this would be an excellent film festival to enter. You know, with specific genres, sometimes it's just easier to enter things. Like, let's say if you made like a rom-com or something, that could be very hard to get into certain film festivals. But things that are very specific, like horror, a lot of the film festivals are pretty clearly identified. Like Slay, like it looks, it's a Seattle Film Festival. It's pretty obvious. This is cool. Cinemagic Young Filmmakers 2020. This could be a good option. So what you really have to do, there's no quick way to do it. There are hundreds of film festivals. You just have to go through step by step. Just sort of try to do the research and enter ones that make sense to you. So I would encourage my students to consider this. If you think you nailed it with this short film, go ahead, enter some festivals, especially the free ones. You never know what you're going to get into. It's great for putting on your resume. It's great for when you transfer. Let's say you finish your AS degree and you want to go to like Hunter or NYU or wherever, then you're going to want to load up your CV and your resume, and when you apply, you're going to talk about yourself. And if you've gotten into a few film festivals, it's good. It's a really good thing. So I would recommend it. And I'll give you extra credit if you enter a few. If you ever get into anything, let me know, because we'll brag about you. Yeah, so have fun.